Welcome back to the Onjiko Show. Kenya is one of the few countries in the world where the concept of universal basic income has been successfully tried. In the year 2010, the Kenya government began giving a monthly stipend to individuals with severe disabilities. 2 years later, after I graduated from Kenyatta University with a Bachelor's of Education degree, and I found it hard to secure employment, I applied for the program. I thought that as someone who was born with cerebral palsy, I would be considered. However, my application was turned down on the grounds that as someone who had reached university, my disability wasn't considered severe enough. At that moment, the explanation that I was given made sense. After all, I didn't want to take funds from people who are more vulnerable than I was. However, as the years went by, and I still couldn't secure a job, I began wondering whether the logic that my disability wasn't severe enough made sense. Because the reason why I wasn't finding a job, unlike my other disabled friends with whom we were in university with, was because I had cerebral palsy. And yet, the government was telling me that since I had made it to the university, my disability wasn't severe enough for me to be enrolled for the stipend. That is why I'm so excited about Raila Odinga's plan to include all disabled people in the social welfare program if elected president. Raila also plans to give monthly stipends to widows, orphans, single mothers, young people, and village elders. He's obviously not joking when he says that his will be the largest social welfare program in Africa. His plans are noble. However, they contain a few hidden dangers. Today, we'll shine a light on the hidden dangers within Raila Odinga's plan and explore several ways in which they can be avoided. They say that whoever pays the piper calls the tune, which means that if someone is giving you money, they're able to control what you do. Raila's social welfare program will mean that the government will be able to control the information of many more Kenyans and control what they do, which means that we will have less privacy. The other hidden danger in Raila's big social welfare plan is that companies will use it as an excuse not to pay reasonable salary. They'll give the excuse that because Kenyans are receiving the basic income from the government, they do not need to pay their employees a living wage. Thirdly, whatever behavior is incentivized occurs more frequently. So for instance, giving money to single mothers will mean that single motherhood will occur more frequently. There will be many more irresponsible men who will use the excuse that because the government is giving money to the women that they have impregnated, that means that they do not have to play their part in raising their own children. The fourth hidden danger in Raila's big social welfare plan is that it is too expensive. We can't afford it, which is something that his former ally, Musalia Mudavadi, has pointed out. So what can be done to adjust Raila's plan and make it more feasible? First, he can do nothing. Someone has said that the best politician to elect is the one who comes to you and tells you that if elected, they will do nothing. The reasoning is that anything that a politician promises to do will be paid for by your taxes. So Raila can simply decide not to implement his big social welfare program, and that will benefit it by not increasing our taxes. Secondly, he can do away with the protectionist policies in Kenya, which make it hard for entrepreneurs to import cheap goods from outside the country. The reason why governments set up policies which make it hard to import goods into their countries is because they want to protect producers within their own countries. Thirdly, Raila can use his large platform to encourage people to the religious institutions for moral teaching and for meaning in life. The fact is that no matter how much money the government gives people, as long as people don't have good morals, they don't see the meaning in their own lives, they are bound to waste that money. And the only way that people learn good morals, and the only way people find meaning in their life is by adhering to religious teaching. Lastly, instead of giving money to just a small segment of the population, that is the elderly, the disabled, the widows, the single mothers, how about giving money to everyone? There's a concept known as the negative income tax, which was proposed by American economist Milton Friedman. Friedman suggested that once a government can identify a certain level of income, and everyone earning below that level of income will get money from the government, which is taxed at the same rate as people earning above that level of income. So for instance, we might decide that the level of income we are working with is 6,000 shillings. So let's say everyone earning below 6,000 shillings gets money from the government, which is taxed at the same rate as everyone earning above 6,000 shillings. For someone without any income at all, meaning they're earning 0 shillings, and let's say the taxation rate is 50%, which would be the highest taxation rate possible. 50% of 6,000 shillings is 3,000. So the person earning 0 money, no income at all, gets 3,000 shillings from the government. This will mean that everyone gets something at the end of the month, and there is no feeling of favoritism which arises when just a few people are given money. So these are some of the ways that Raila can adjust his social welfare plan to include everyone and to avoid the pitfalls that are bound to arise if he goes on with his current plan. This brings us to the end of our video today. For more videos, please remember to subscribe to our channel. Also, I'd like to hear what you think about the ideas that I've proposed. Please like and share the video with your friends. See you in the next time.